I have been getting so many questions about my glow up lately, so today I'm going to give you guys absolutely everything that I have done over the past couple of years to go from looking like this to looking like what you see right now in front of you today. If you are new here, welcome to the Baddie Academy. This is where I teach all of you guys to be confident, look your best, and live your best life. Today, I'm giving you all the tea on all the actual treatments, the appointments, the routines, the diet changes, the fitness changes, and the beauty maintenance that I do regularly to look the way that I do right now. I have 10 things on this list, and every single one of them has made such a big difference. You know me, I don't like to waste time, so let's get right into it. Number one is injectables. Of course, I'm going to start with the one that I know that you guys are the most curious about. Let's talk about Botox and a filler. I started my facial balancing journey about 2 years ago. And let me tell you, when I first walked into that med spa 2 years ago, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I just knew going in that there were certain things on my face that I wanted to enhance. And that's probably the most important lesson that I have learned about injectables. You need to know what kind of problem you are trying to solve on your face before you go into a med spa and start exploring injectables. You can't just start adding stuff to your face. I knew for me, I wanted overall facial balance and symmetry. There were a couple areas that I could pinpoint were asymmetrical, including my lips. My bottom lip was smaller than my top lip, so that's something that we supplemented for with filler. And also from a side profile perspective, my bottom lip actually didn't jut out as much as my top lip did, so that's another thing that I balanced out with filler. Funny enough, when I went in for my consultation, the doctor was basically like, you don't need much. And I had gone in wanting a bit more than what they suggested, which was actually probably a good thing because that's another thing with filler. I would say it's better for you to start small than to go all in. I also added a bit of filler to my chin to balance out the distance from my nose to my lips and the bottom portion so that this area would be symmetrical to this bottom area. And when it comes to filler, that's basically all that I've done. I did want to try other areas, but again, my injector was like, no, we don't need to do that. Like, your face is already perfect the way that it is. And I really appreciate that because now that I'm looking at my face, I really do think that it's perfect exactly the way that it is. Now let's get into Botox. I would say that the treatment that surprised me the most, that I ended up loving the most, was Master Botox. I went in to get Master Botox not because I was dealing with like grinding of the teeth or like TMJ, which is what a lot of people get it for. Instead, I did Master Botox because I knew that I wanted to slim out my face. My jawline used to be pretty wide. And let me tell you guys, it really did make such a big difference for me. Of course, I also did lose some weight in this journey, so that contributed to getting like a sharper jawline. But I would say that the Masters really did slim my face and slimmed up my jawline in the way that I wanted. I also decided to venture into baby Botox in my forehead because whenever I would lift my brows, I started to notice lines in my forehead, which is something that I personally did not want. So I get very little Botox in my forehead as well as in my brows to achieve a brow lift. And the reason for that, which is exactly what I told my injector, was that I still wanted to be able to have expressions. I still want to be able to raise my eyebrows. I still want to be able to frown, let people know when I'm frowning. I don't want to be completely frozen. I just wanted to minimize the lines that were appearing, and they were able to do exactly that. And I have been so happy with my baby Botox and filler. There are literally a million things that you can do, even things that you probably have never even imagined in your life, which is why, again, I think it's so important for you to go into your injector knowing exactly what problems you have. You don't want to look like the people from Uncanny Valley, okay? So when you go to your injector as well, just make sure that you like the way that they look. If they look a little crazy, that is not an injector that you're going to want to get injected by. Definitely want to emphasize this because I know that Botox and fillers can be pretty controversial. If you already love the way that your face looks and you love the concept of wrinkles, do not feel pressured to get Botox or filler. This is a personal choice. And again, it's also a medical procedure that does come with risks. So you definitely need to research the professionals that you are going to. Know that when you are doing this, you are putting yourself at a little bit of a risk. Your goal when it comes to injectables should always just be to subtly enhance the way that your face looks. You don't want to completely change the way that your face looks or like completely become another person. That's not the goal here in any way. Let's move on to number 2, which is laser hair removal. One of you guys commented on one of my posts and said that my armpits were the most beautiful armpits you had ever seen. And when I tell you, that literally cracked me up so much. And I'm gonna show you guys. So before I got laser hair removal, which obviously I got laser hair removal on my armpits, I was dealing with constant ingrown hairs. I had a lot of discoloration here. It was actually very dark. And also, I literally had to shave every day because my hair was growing back so quickly. And my armpits were a big point of contention for me. It was extremely annoying. I hated having hair there. I hated that I had to shave every single day. I would say that laser hair removal is probably one of the best procedures that I have ever gotten done for myself. I cannot express to you how much I love the fact that I do not have to shave. I've also gotten laser hair removal in my bikini area, and the same thing. No more ingrown hairs, no more discoloration. It is absolutely beautiful and I love it. I probably did approximately 10 treatments on both of those areas. And the thing about these treatments too, which is so great, is you can literally be out of that appointment room in 15 minutes. They are so fast. If you have a little bit more melanin in your skin and are a little bit of a tanner shade, just make sure that you're working with a laser technician that actually knows what they're doing, because sometimes that can really screw with your skin and you may get some permanent damage that is not wanted. So just make sure you're going to somebody who actually knows what they're doing. Okay, number 3, and probably one of my most favorites, is my beauty calendar. So yes, I do have an actual beauty maintenance calendar that I go by and follow. And I swear by this because I never want to get to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I have to do absolutely everything. When everything just starts breaking down around you and you have to start replacing absolutely everything at the same time. Same concept for your beauty routines. I don't want to have a single month where I'm like, oh my God, I have to do my face and my hair and my entire body and my nails and etc. So I do space it out in a way that works really well for my schedule currently. So weekly, I am currently doing an at-home maintenance, which basically is like an at-home spa day. I am deep conditioning my hair. I'm whitening my teeth. I'm also doing like an at-home facial situation where I'm doing an exfoliating chemical peel as well as a hydrating or moisturizing face mask and my LED red light mask. Monthly, I'm getting a manicure and a pedicure because I really believe in making sure that your nails and your toenails are presentable. And I think it's really important to note, these are my natural nails. I do not get acrylics because I believe that acrylics will really damage your nails. These are my natural nails. I go to a salon that does soak-offs and does not use a drill. I'm actually very strict about the fact that I do not want to drill anywhere near my nails. I do not do a hard gel either because it has to be drilled off. Quarterly, I am making sure to get a haircut as well as a hair gloss. And here's the thing with your hair. If you have split ends, you've got to go in and cut them off. There is no reconciling a split end once it's become split. Quarterly, I will also choose between a facial or a massage, just depending on what I feel like my body needs at that time. The secret to this beauty calendar is just making sure that your appointments are in your calendar. Once they're in your calendar, you can have something to look forward to. It's a great self-care day. And it's also great for your beauty maintenance. This will make the biggest difference for you for going from having to feel like you have to constantly fix yourself to making sure that you're maintained all year long. Number 4 is getting my colors done. If you have never gotten a color analysis done, I am telling you, this is one of the most life-changing things that I have actually ever done. Before getting my colors done, I thought that I was warm toned. And come to find out, I am a cool summer, which blew my mind. I literally thought I was a warm autumn. The most opposite thing that I could have been. So obviously, because I thought I was warm toned, I was wearing warm jewelry like gold. I was using warm makeup. I was wearing the colors that were meant for warm toned people. Once I started incorporating the actual colors that I'm supposed to as a cool summer, I'm telling you, my life changed. I seriously started getting the absolute most compliments whenever I would be wearing things from my cool summer palette. And I also figured out how to do my makeup with the colors that suit me. And I mean, you guys are a testament to that. Everybody loves how my makeup looks. And it's because I have matched it up to my colors, my cool summer colors. Now I have a specific inventory of makeup that I know looks good on me, including the best blush colors, the best lip colors, the best eyeshadows to be wearing as well as bronzers and contours too. This will make the biggest difference for you and your makeup once you figure out what your undertones are. That is how you should be purchasing all of your makeup. Something about working with the natural features that you have and the features that you have been given is so empowering and truly is so beautiful. Number 5 is I developed a skincare and a makeup uniform. I keep my skincare extremely simple. In the morning, my priorities are always a vitamin C, a moisturizer, and an SPF. And then at night, I am double cleansing, first with an oil cleanser and then second with a gel cleanser. And then I'm rotating with active products that have an exfoliation component to them, like a BHA, and then using serums and moisturizers that work really well with my skin. My philosophy with both my skincare and my makeup, it's not that I have to have like 100 products. I'm actually trying to use as little products as possible that have the absolute best ingredients in them and are proven to work. I do the absolute same thing with my makeup. I have an everyday makeup routine that I can follow, closing my eyes, and I can get it done in 10 minutes. I know exactly what concealer to use, exactly what blush, exactly what lip combos to use, so that there's absolutely no decisions that need to be made in the morning. I can just do it and go. And when it comes to your makeup routine, let me tell you something, you do not need more makeup products. What you really need to be prioritizing is learning how to do your makeup based off of your face, because there are specific techniques that you should be doing based off of your face shape, based off of your eye shape, based off of the color of your skin. It's very specific based off of your natural features. So instead of focusing on buying more makeup products, focus on learning the techniques that will work best for you. It's going to be a lot easier for you to just have a collection of products that you know definitely work for your face than having 100 to sift through that you don't even really know how to work with. Number 6 is nutrition, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. Whenever somebody comes to me and they're like, oh my God, your skin is glowing. Yes, it is a combination of some glowy makeup products that I'm using and also a combination of the Botox, especially if you think that my forehead is glowing. That I definitely do have to attribute to Botox, but everything else, that glow is coming from my diet. Listen to me loud and clear. If you want your skin and your hair and your nails to be in their best shape, you have to focus on your nutrition. Not eating is what's going to give you brittle hair. Not eating is what's going to give you dull skin. And not eating is what's going to make all of your nails fall off and break all the time, okay? Not eating is never the solution. You have to eat. So personally for me, getting really educated and learning about the different types of foods that prioritize the things that are important to me, which include glowing skin, having energy, having healthy nails, having that knowledge and learning about the nutrient dense foods that I could fill my diet with was extremely life-changing. And then also learning about portions. If you need a good place to start when it comes to your nutrition, I would say that there are a couple of categories that you should be focusing on. Number 1 is lean protein sources. Number 2 is good sources of healthy fats. Number 3 is good sources of healthy fibers. And then number 5 is good sources of complex carbohydrates. So for protein, I like to eat chicken, eggs, fish. Anything that's like a white meat actually is really good for you, but I also do like to prioritize a steak meal every so often. For healthy fats, I will eat things like chia seeds, avocados. Nuts and seeds are always a good source of healthy fats for you, but you do need to be careful with those portions because they are very high in fat, much higher than you probably think. And then fatty fishes like salmon and sardines, you should be trying to incorporate them in your diet at least once a week. That's going to contribute to the glow that your skin will have. And finally, I do make a really conscious effort to eat as many vegetables and fruit during the day that I can. When it comes to portion control, you should be eating protein that's the size of your palm. For healthy fats, it should be the size of your thumb. And then if you're working with a plate, half of your plate should be filled with vegetables and fruits. A good rule when it comes to your diet and your nutrition is that you should be eating as many colors of the rainbow within all of your meals in a day as you can. Learning to be very intentional with my nutrition helped me a lot because here's one thing about me. I love to eat, okay? So I don't like eating tiny portions. I need my plates to be filled with food. And when you're eating nutrient-dense foods, complex carbohydrates, fiber-rich foods, a full plate will actually be lower in calories than you think. And when you eat with nutrition coming first as your priority, and when you're prioritizing these nutrient-dense foods, actually you're going to get to a point where you never have to worry about the calories anymore because they're giving you all the nutrients and calories that your body needs. Obviously, nutrition is a very independent and individualized thing. So I would suggest going to a nutritionist, especially if you feel like you need help in this arena. Nutritionists will help to tailor a plan for you that's going to work based off of your lifestyle, the time, and the food that your body can eat. And it's going to change your life. And the glow up lesson with this particular category is actually really simple. Don't spend hundreds of dollars trying to fix your hair and your skin and your makeup if you're not focusing on the first thing that matters the most, which is making sure that you are taking in all of the nutritional things that you need to make sure that your body can function in the way that it's supposed to. Number 7 is finding a fitness routine that I actually really love. So a couple of years ago, I used to lift 5 to 6 days a week. And at first I loved it. I lost a lot of weight and I also built a lot of muscle. But eventually I got to a point with that particular schedule where I found I wasn't enjoying it as much. So instead of forcing myself to do a routine that the internet was telling me was the best, which at the time, a couple of years ago, I do feel like weightlifting was a very trendy thing for you to be doing, especially for your fitness and if you wanted a particular body type. So now I have a different, actually very low impact fitness schedule that I love to follow. The addition that made the biggest difference for me was walking. Now I prioritize getting at least 6,000 to 10,000 steps a day, and that has leaned me out more than anything. Walking has definitely become one of my non-negotiables because what's happening while walking is not only am I burning the calories at the fat burning state that I want, but also it's become a time for me where I can think. It's become a time for me where I can process certain things. It's become a time where I can really shut out all the other noise that's coming at me from all different directions. And so walking is not only good for my body physically, but also so good for me mentally. Beyond the walking, I am doing a lifting day once a week. I'm also doing hot yoga once a week. And then for the rest of the week, I'm doing Pilates and bar classes. And at this point in my life right now, I'm really, really loving the low impact workouts. I think that the most important thing when it comes to your fitness routine and just making sure to move your body is just that you find something that you really enjoy doing that you can do consistently. Because at the end of the day, it's just important that you move your body. We are not meant to be stagnant. We're not meant to not have any steps during the day. We are actually meant to be very active individuals. So whatever you can do that makes you as active as possible is going to be the best thing for you. Number 8 was finding my signature hair routine, and you guys already know what that is for me at this point. It is my blowouts. About a year and a half ago, I got my very first professional blowout, and when I walked out of that salon, I'm telling you, my life literally changed. I walked out of that salon telling myself that I was going to learn how to replicate that result from home, no matter what it took. And here we are today. I have definitely been able to replicate it, and I have never been happier to find a hair routine that works for me. I learned the haircut that worked best for my features. I also learned the best blow drying technique that would give me the volume and the waves that I wanted. Now that my hair is colored, I do need to be a little bit more careful about making sure that it's deep conditioned and also minimizing heat to it as much as I can. But finding the signature style that works really well for me, I think that all of you should be trying to prioritize finding your signature hairstyle. And of course, it doesn't have to be a blowout. It could be a slick back bun. It could literally be wearing your natural curls. Whatever works for you, just find a signature hairstyle that can be your go-to, that you know will look good and will be easy to do. Okay. And now we need to talk about the boring glow up advice that nobody wants to hear, but it's really important. So, point number 9 is sleep and hydration. You have to sleep and you have to drink water. I know it's so groundbreaking, but when I talk to even my girls, I am so shocked to find how little sleep and hydration is prioritized. And guys, this is like one of the things that will make the biggest difference for you. Getting at least 8 hours of sleep and making sure that your body is hydrated to the level that it needs to be is going to be the biggest game changer for you. And it's something that you can actually control. Personally, for me, I like to try to get at least 8 hours of sleep, and I'm actually shooting for 10 hours of sleep a night. And it's really important that you start creating a routine around your sleep and making sure that you are protecting it. That means that you have to have a nighttime routine. That means you have to have some boundaries with your phone or any other tech devices that have a bright light that will prevent you from entering into that sleep state. And also, you have to watch your caffeine intake. Guys, sleep is when your body is doing an enormous amount of recovery and repair. Not only that, but it affects everything about you, including your mood and your energy. Same goes for hydration. My final point, number 10, was finding my personal style. So genuinely, I could probably make an entire video about this just by itself. One of the things that I have learned for myself personally is that great style for me is not about wearing what's currently trending on TikTok or on social media. It's about wearing what looks good on my body. And so the first step to learning your personal style is you need to understand your body. You need to know what kind of silhouettes make you feel incredible. You need to know what kind of necklines flatter you. This permeates into all the different categories, including the types of fabrics you should be wearing, obviously the colors, the types of shoes, the jewelry. Because here's the thing, something can look amazing on another woman and will do absolutely nothing for you. You have to find your own personal style. One of the things that I would recommend specifically for this category is finding a uniform that works for you. So I'm talking, let's start simple. Let's figure out what your favorite types of tops to wear are. Let's figure out what types of bottoms looks best. Your statement accessories, your go-to colors, your go-to shoes. And at the end of the day, guys, when it comes to your personal style, it's whatever makes you feel the most beautiful and confident. There are some tools that you can explore, such as the Kibbe system, that's spelled Kibbe. It can get a little bit complicated though, so don't dive too much into it, especially if you're just starting out this process of figuring out what your personal style is. One of the things that I started doing specifically within this category that made a big difference for me was I started renting. Because with renting, I was able to try out different statement or trendy pieces that I would personally never have bought. Renting is also how I've been able to figure out what types of styles look good on me and then what types of styles don't look as good on me. And here is a hard truth, again, about your personal style and clothes. Just because you get a lot of clothes does not mean that you have good style. You've got to figure out your personal style and find the clothes that tailor specifically to you, and I guarantee you can have a very minimal wardrobe and be the best dressed woman in the room. I just spent this entire video giving you 10 things that you can do to really glow up when it comes to your physical appearance, but it wouldn't be a Baddie Academy video if I didn't end this video on this note. Because here's the thing, you can definitely get the Botox, you can definitely get the filler, you can definitely get the hairstyle that works best on you and get the clothes that fit you right, but if you do not have the confidence or the identity to follow, none of these things will do anything for you. None of these things are going to create what you are probably looking for with yourself. Because here's the thing, being attractive and being beautiful, it's not exclusively about your physical appearance. You can probably see for yourself, there is something very genuinely different and beautiful and attractive and charismatic about a woman who really knows and trusts herself. A woman who has boundaries, a woman who keeps promises to herself, a woman who has specific interests and opinions and goals, and a woman who walks into a room and is not actively looking for everybody in that room to validate her because she already knows who she is. That right there, my girls, is truly the actual glow up. Everything that we talked about today, this is the fun part, okay? These are the enhancements. I love them, clearly. But if you are in the start of your glow up journey, I really want you to, alongside these types of beauty treatments, start internally. We have to build your confidence and your discipline. You have to figure out who you are and learn to set boundaries. And most of all, you need to focus on becoming an interesting person for yourself and building a life that you actually enjoy. And then you're going to go out there with the cute outfit. And that's basically the entire point of the Bad Bitch Academy. So I'm so happy that you are here. So if you want more lessons specifically in the confidence, discipline, self-trust arenas, I do have a couple of videos up for the Baddie Academy already, but make sure to subscribe so you can continue to get those lessons in the future. And as always, you can also find me on Instagram or TikTok. So make sure that you're following me on there too, because I'm pretty fun on both of those platforms. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, if you have a request, let me know in the comments, because this video did come directly from a request that one of you guys had in one of my other videos. And I will see you at the next one. Bye, guys.